How you doing, guys? Super Full Go-Go back at you again with another deck profile. Today I'm going to show you the Sylvans. This is before Primal Origins, because I know when Primal Origins comes out there's going to be a lot more support. They're probably going to be top tier. I have no doubt about that. So I'll just show you how I run it right now, but let's get into it. Okay, so the first monster, obviously the best monster, 3 Sylvan Marsh Leaves. Got 2 Japanese ones, but whatever. Yeah, so 3 of the Sylvan Marsh Leaves. This card is great. The whole point of the deck is excavating, which is kind of like milling, but it's different. When this card's excavated to the graveyard, you can pop a monster on the field, which is very hard to negate and get around since it's a graveyard effect. So it's just awesome, and it's so cute too. Also, when it's normal summoned, you can select up to 2, excavate them any cards from the deck. And it's just a 1500 attack, and it's just really cool. 3 Sylvan Peacekeepers. When this card is normal special summon, you can excavate the top card of your deck. When this card is excavated, you can special 1 level 4 or lower plant type monster out of your graveyard, which is amazing. Because with this deck, you can, it's just so great. You can like go into so many plays that you can get so much stuff back, like spores, tuners, stuff like that. Anything you really need, you can just get them back, and you can really set up so much with this card. So it's just really, really, really beautiful. Next, 3 Sylvan Hermitry. Some people say it's a little cloggy to run 3, but since I can summon them so much and just set up so much with them, that you gotta run 3. 27 attack power beater. Once per turn, you can extra the top card of your deck. It's a plant type monster, sent to the graveyard, you get to draw a card, and it's just, love that effect. But when this card itself is excavated, you can look at the top 3 cards of your deck, arrange them in any order. So you're pretty much stacking your deck up for plays, and it's just so beautiful. And it's level 8, so AC summoning is so great. Next, 2 Lone Fire Blossom. Well, I mean, this card is so great. I mean, any plant deck, but especially in this deck, because with Peacekeeper, you can get this back. Because Peacekeeper says you can special summon any level 4 or lower plant type monster, not necessarily a Sylvan. So you can get this back so many times and go for so big monsters, and it's just it's just so great, especially in this. 2 Flower Knights. When this card is normal summoned, you can excavate the top card of your deck. Plant type monster, once again, sent to the graveyard. When this card itself is excavated, you can take 1 card in your deck, any Sylvan card in your deck, place it on the top of your deck. So you can pretty much just set up for next turn too, and it's just really great. Next, 2 Sylvan Blade Defenders, 1900 attack. When this card destroys a monster by battle, you excavate. When this card is excavated, you can add it to your hand. So it's never really a dead draw, because you can just do so many good things with it. It's a level 4, it's just so good. 2 Sylvan Gashumarus. When this card is, well, you have to flip summon it, so it's pretty much 2000 defense, which is really hard to get around. When he flips, you can activate the top 5 cards in your deck. If they're plant type monster, send them to the graveyard once again. But having 5 cards sent to the graveyard is just so good, because you get off so much stuff. When this card itself is excavated, you can pop a spell or trap card in the field. So it's just great. 1 Fallen Angel of Roses, a really great monster. You can special summon this by returning 1 physical plant type monster you control back to the hand, except yourself. So just running it around with these cards, you just get them back, and you can just do so many more plays again. And in fact, this special summons. It's a level 7, 2400 attack. It's just really great. 1 Titanial, any plant deck pretty much runs her. If a card would target one of your monsters, you can pop her instead. So it pretty much saves you from a lot of good stuff.
Pop any plant.
Pop any plant. Any plant that, yeah, you can just pretty much you can use her, you can use any other plant. Normally, she's pretty much the only thing that's normally on the field and whatnot, but with this deck, you can get out, like, literally there are turns where you can get out, like, 5 level 8 monsters in that turn, and it's just beautiful. 1 Plague Spreader, because of, one thing I can get it back so many times, it's not really specific to any kind of archetype really, and it's because of one of the synchro monsters on here needs a Dark Tuner, and I'll show you what it is in a little bit.
That right there might have given it away, to be honest.
Yeah, probably. Next, a Spore. I run 1 because it is a little bit difficult at times to manipulate them a little bit. If you draw into 2 of them, it's kind of a bitch. If you excavate them, they're in the graveyard already, so it's a little bit to work around. But one right now, I might put in another one. It all depends on what comes out in Primal Origins and whatnot.
The Yugi Spore for the win.
And a copy plant. So you can use this for synchro summoning, eggsy summoning. The copy plant's gonna be one of the best plant type tuners because it's just so great. But yeah, it's a little heavy on the monsters, but not too bad. Okay, 2 of these spell cards. Obviously, one of the most important cards in the deck, I will say, and the best spell card for the deck. Sylvania, the field spell. This can set you up so much that you need to run in a 3. If I saw a person who literally ran in 1 because they said it's situational, it is not situational. Basically, during your turn, you can send 1 plant type monster from your hand or your side of the field to the graveyard. Plant any Sylvan type monster, or any Sylvan card actually, on top of your deck. And during your opponent's end phase, you can excavate the top card of your deck to the graveyard. So you can get pop off Marshleaf, pop a monster, Kashumro, pop spell cards for the Hermitry, look at the top 3 cards of your deck. It is so great, and you can manipulate your deck so much that this is such a broken field spell that it needs to be run at 3, and it needs to be kept. It's just so great that it's just really neat. And the artwork is just actually really awesome. It really is. It's actually
on that.
Yeah, it's actually really great artwork. For all the field spells out there, this is actually one of the best looking.
There you go. It's a good picture, guys.
Yeah. All right. Next, 3 Miracle Fertilizer. Why I run 3? Because when stuff is in the graveyard and you execute summon so much, having these on the field, it's just a must. And sometimes you can go through these so many times because you can get Lone Fire Blossom back, you can get your Hermitries back, you can get any plant type monster back. And the only downfall is if that card is sent to the graveyard, this gets destroyed. But when you execute summoning, technically the monster is not really technically leaving the field, so it gets to stay. And when they're all level 8 monsters and you're going for big level 8 execute monsters or whatnot, it really comes in handy. So, 2 MSTs. One of the most important cards in the deck, any plant type monster kind of deck, Mark of the Rose. Would love to have another one. 3 is a little too much, but it's pretty much like a creature swap that kind of keeps going back and forth. You remove 1 plant type monster from your graveyard, take control of your opponent's monsters for the turn. You can attack, you can tribute it, you can do whatever the hell you want. At the end phase, it goes back to your opponent. Then if it's still in the field, it goes back to you, and it just kind of keeps going back and forth. Speaking of which, 1 creature swap, because I think it's absolutely hilarious when you put a Peacekeeper on the field and you switch it with I've literally I played with a different deck and somebody used my Super Vegeta used my Sylvan deck, and he literally creature swapped a Peacekeeper with me with a Neo Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. Absolutely the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, and there's nothing you can really do about it. So yeah, I know it's actually one of the most tragic things I've ever seen. But then 1 smashing and 1 dark hole. It's not fun.
As it is, it's hilarious.
If I was doing it, yeah, it'd be funny. But
you built the deck.
Yeah, I did. So I can't really feel bad. For the traps, 3 Sylvan Blessings. Really great card. Place 1 card from your hand on the top of your deck, the top or bottom of your deck. Especially summon 1 Sylvan monster out of your hand or graveyard. So Hermitry, Marshleaf, or any kind of Sylvan, and especially with the new Primal Origins stuff coming out, it will be so much more broken. And especially when you place a card, let's say Marshleaf or Kashumru or anything like that, put it on top of your deck, activate it, get off their effects, and you special summon a monster. 2 Mirror Force. 1 mistake, which is absolutely hilarious, because this deck doesn't add from the deck to the hand, so neither player can add from their any cards from their deck to their hand except by drawing them. I side deck another one so I can add 2, but 1 is just really good to main deck, and it's just so broken. And a Bottomless and a Compulse. For the extra deck, I run 2 Aisley, if I should save it, the Sylvan High Protector. Once per turn, you can declare 1 card name. Execute the top card of your deck. If it's the declared card name, you can add it to your hand. If not, send it to the graveyard. And when a card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, this monster can detach one of its materials, take one of your opponent's cards, put it on the top or bottom of the deck.
Any card
you want. And it's just so funny. It's got 2,300 attack, 3,200 defense, so it's really hard to get around, especially on the defensive side. It's a wall. Yeah. One Heretic Sun Dragon Overload Heliopolis, because having stuff in the graveyard is never that much of a bad thing, and you just destroy your opponent's crap anyways. One number 39 Utopia Roots, because there are level 1 monsters in here, and if I have them on the field, it's good to know I can do something with it, so Utopia Roots. One Black Rose, because it is a Planetine deck. I can bomb the field. I can use its other effect to banish a Planetine monster to reduce the attack of a monster by 0. Or I take a defense-based monster, switch it to attack, and reduce its attack to 0. One Catastrophe, because it does Synchro Summon, and it destroys everything. Two Queen of Thorns. Your opponent, either player has to pay 1,000 life points when they summon, any kind of summon, a monster that's not a plant-type monster. So, since this is pretty much a plant deck, it's never a problem for me. The next, a TG Hyper Librarian, because it's TG Hyper Librarian. Ancient Pixie Dragon, because I run a field spell, and it's just so anti-Ancient Fairy Dragon, it's just hilarious. A Stardust, a Red Dragon Archfiend, a Mistworm, because heavy synchro summoning is not that hard, and one Beals. Pretty much the main reason I run the Plague Spreader, because this is just such a broken synchro monster. And if anybody has a synchro deck, you need to get one of these things. It is so funny because it can't be destroyed by battle or by card effects. And when this pretty much is attacked by a monster or does battle with a monster, it gains the attack of the destroyed monster. So you just keep gaining attack points until you're pretty much just unbeatable. Yeah, so that is my Sylvan deck. Once again, it is, going to be changed because of Primal Origins getting so much more support. Any suggestions, comments, subscribe, all the good stuff. Superfull Goko here, and check us back later.